Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out with your hosts, Brandon, Collin, and Aaron. On this week's show, I find myself there.
Feast of New Year's.
Live and in person, back with us. It's Aaron! Oh my gosh!
There he is.
Hello. Yes, I'm not dead. Hello.
Crowd noises. Wow!
Lots of crowd noises.
Right.
And not only that of a new year, but a birthday.
That's
too.
true.
So we had to break out the ultimate of special guests.
That's true. The birthday boy himself. Live and in person.
And in person.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Representing.
Boom.
Here he is.
Representing Oklahoma. Back and better than ever. Aaron is here.
How does it feel to know that your youngest brother is 35?
Not good, really.
How does that realize?
It's not great.
I'm reminded every single day by my wife, like, you know how old you are? Like, yes. And then I have students that do the exact same thing. And then that final number of 35 hitting is like, oh.
It's true.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
And I tell people, like, yeah, I'm the youngest of 3. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, how old's your brother's? Like, 50s? Like, no. They're
Almost. But a body slam them.
Might well be.
Yeah. My children like to do things like, yeah, you're old. And like, yeah. And? Like, yes. Yes. What do you mean?
What do you okay.
Yeah. But like coming from a 12-year-old, it's like, oh no, my feelings. They're so.
My favorite thing to do is to go into movies that I watched growing up and see how old the actors were in those movies.
Don't do
and
that.
Then realize that, like, whenever I was 10, I thought this was the oldest person on the planet, and they are 36.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
That's true. How does it feel to be older than everyone in the NFL, Aaron? That's what
That's really
that makes you think. When you're reaching the age that NFL people are retiring,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, I know, like,
don't watch the Olympics this year, because they'll be like, oh my god, this is the oldest person ever in the Olympics. They're 28. Like, shut up.
Watch how they can barely make it up to the starting block. Oh,
Well,
really is sad to see them going downhill.
well, I feel because there's like one of the quarterbacks currently in the NFL is like 38, and they're like, yeah, he's over the hill, he's washed up, he's done. I'm like, 38, that's like 3 years from me. Like, there you go.
Wait a minute, guys.
Am I about to be washed up here? Like, what are we doing?
It's not that bad. I promise.
And then it's like, this guy just graduated high school and making $5 million. Like, all right, hold on now.
Yeah,
let's go easy on this here.
Yeah.
No, it's good to be back. I apologize for my whatever gap year hiatus or whatever.
You've been a bit busy.
I have been a bit busy.
To be fair,
for those who have been missing out,
I will say we have been giving life updates periodically.
Oh, good. Okay.
So
some people at least know. But no, having a kiddo and then starting a new job at a much bigger school has kind of enveloped all of my time. And then sometimes when I get home and it's like, all right, straight to taking care of a little one, it's like, I probably need to sleep. And usually our bedtime is like 7. And being in bed and pitch black and just hearing just white noise or thunder, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna move. So anything past 7 or just in general, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna sleep. And
fair enough.
Probably this little one's gonna wake up soon. So, but no, I have been gallivanting, and I am alive, I promise. So I is here now for
the rumors of my what
the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
But no, it's been awesome. It's been a trip. It's been a journey. And now getting a chance to be here. So
yeah, sorry, we had to take a mid photo break. There we go. That was our after pause.
There you go. Live cover photo. Sorry.
Trying to do so much in one setting here. It's not. Yeah. Oh, it's yeah. So you've moved. You're in a house. You're now.
You have 18 cats. 18
cats.
Yeah,
and counting. Right.
Yeah. So we got one. We got one indoor, and then we have 2 that we've just accumulated.
I think they've adopted Aaron.
Yes,
really is what's happening here.
So the previous owner had like 2 massive dogs, I think, and so he just kind of let them run all over the place. And so since he moved, he took his dogs. That opened up the backyard,
Nature abhors
to-
a
yeah,
vacuum.
so-
vacuum.
And
Power
so
vacuum,
our
cat's
our,
moved in.
our neighbor's cat, whose real name is Milo, but we're like, no, you're Leonard. Has
fair.
been migrating over and using our backyard as his. And I'm not saying like he's over for a little bit and then like he'll toddle back home. Like no, he's been like staying in our backyard. He'll sleep in one of our plant pots. And he'll sleep like under the back deck. And so we've just been feeding him every morning and every night. And so he's been our cat. He's a yellow cat. He's really pretty. And then by proxy, we've had his sibling, I guess, which is an all black cat, which I don't know its actual name, but we've been calling it Boo, who's also starting to come over. And then at one point we had this other cat named Slim, who was this very malnourished, like emaciated creature, and that I even took to the vet, spent like $45 on, and then never saw it again. So, but as of right now, we have our cat, Indoor Kitty, and then we have 2 house cats. And I will say, Leonard has staunchly defended his new home from other outside cats. He's gotten to cat fights on our front porch.
Oh dear.
From the neighbor's cat. Across the street, there's this big fluffy cat that he does not like. So it's super fun when you're checking the house at night and all of a sudden you hear just "Rawr!" and I'm like, well, that's not our cat. And we see this other kitty just prowling our front stoop like it's his own territory. It's like, okay, well, that's yours now. But yeah, it got a house. We moved 45 minutes away, much closer to my work now.
I'm going to say, how long is your commute now?
On a good day, 5 minutes.
And that's speeding, or is that driving?
Oh no, that is going below the speed limit.
If vehicles could saunter.
Yes, it's the first time I've ever had a job where I've actually lived in the same city that I've worked. So that's been a huge change. And then if I'm really pushing it, it's like around the corner. And then my other part of the job is just down the street in downtown. And so it makes commute 1,000 times easier. It makes getting home much easier, seeing the little one in the family. My wife has to drive a little bit, but hers is a much straighter shot, much straighter portion. And then, yeah, it's been life-changing, especially to kind of drop him off in the morning at daycare, my little one, going to work, and then having the wife scoop him up, and then being at home at a decent time for once. It's like, wow, this is strange. It's not like midnight by the time I get home from my other previous positions. So it's been nice. And so being a homeowner, and all the funness of coming from home, it's like, oh, I gotta mow my own yard. Dang it. Okay. It's like, oh, it's snowing. I got to shovel my own driveway. Like, what is this? And so, and all the fun things that come with that. But it's been nice. The change has been good. The family's been doing great. And so, yeah, hopefully this year is opened up with time constraints and be able to jump back on and do this a little bit more.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, we're recording at the beginning of the year. First recording of the year.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look how we typed.
Totally on purpose and everything.
As everyone knows what we did.
Yes, because we planned so well.
We did.
Yeah.
We're professional. And whimsical. Don't forget
And
whimsical.
whimsical,
Very
don't
whimsical.
you know?
Yeah.
Don't you know about the professional whimsy? As we do now.
Obs.
So. Well, yeah. Well, good. You've been busy, and you're still on break.
I still break. I have been busy playing video games locked inside my house. This is all I've been doing since Christmas, really.
Perfect.
I've been hiding and just like refusing to leave because my break is almost over already. And I've just been like, nah, like the first week of break, we had to do all kinds of stuff. And then for like over the weekend till now, I was like, nope, I'm not leaving the house again. I'm just going to stay. So not a lot on my front. Hiding in the way, trying to finish video games before I gotta go back to work. So, you know, that's really...
Did you come in with a video game plan to start something, or did you just see where the
I looked at the shelf and was like, there's some of these that I never actually finished. I should probably get around to that. And that's what we've done here. Or I haven't played this in forever. I should get around to doing that. So that's where the spirit took me. And I decided to do that finally. So that's how we arrived at playing Cyberpunk again. So
is this one of the games that you've beaten beforehand?
So
or is it like,
again,
I'm going to start it and then something happened. You're like,
yeah,
I don't want to give anymore.
Well, two things. I started it. And like, as you may know, the initial release of Cyberpunk 2077 was not great because the game did not function properly. And so I played it for a while and there was some updates that I could download, but eventually there was an update that was like so incredibly massive with my old internet being not good. I like physically couldn't download the size of the thing. So I just had to like not play the game for a while. And then I just like sort of forgot that I had it. And then I was just looking around at my shelf going, oh yeah, I never did finish this. I should do that. And that's where we are now. Like I was like, so that's where I got here. So I took a break from some of the things. And then I was like, I'm going to play this. I'm going to sit, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to finish it. And then I'm going to be done. And then we'll go from there. Like that was my plan. There's some other games I need to get to, but like I was like, I just haven't sat down and actually played video games in a long time. I've played like Forza, right? Like racing, right? You can sit down and you like do a couple races and then you like leave, like whatever, that's fine. Or you just like do some Dark Souls runs and you just like beat things and then you leave again. But like actual like long big thing, like I haven't done that in a while, so that's what I wanted to do. I'm just gonna sit, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, that was my plan.
Did you have to start over completely from scratch with the update, or did you?
No,
where you went
no. Well, I just started over anyway because it had been so long. There's no way I would have remembered what on earth was happening. What are these buttons? Where is this? What? So I just started over just because, like, after some games, like it doesn't matter. But like with such like a story heavy game, like I was like, no, I need to start this over from the beginning because I don't remember. I remember some parts of it, but like not a lot. So I just started over. I was like, forget it.
So that's definitely been me with The Witcher 3 and Dishonored series. I have not finished either of them because I'll get to a point where I'll just be bogged down. I'll stop playing, and then months later, I'll be like, I'm going to pick this game back up. And I'm like, I don't remember how to use spells. I don't remember what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm at. So I'm just to start over. So
that's true. I did that with Dishonored like 3 times. I have never finished that game.
I've never finished that game because I'm going to be like, I'm going to do the good ending and not harm anybody. And then I'm like, I don't know how to do things.
The stealth mode. Yeah. It's like, I like the vibes of that. Not the vibes. That's a bad, like, I guess the environment and like the environment design and stuff is like really good. And so it's like cool, but also like I just never like clicked with it. I never got into it. And I have started that game at least 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't.
So would you consider the whole setting of Dishonored kind of a steampunk-esque industrial age England vibe?
Yes, more on that later. That was definitely.
I just wanted to set up for later.
Oh, look at that foreshadowing
happening.
Yeah, because it's all like whale oil based and like all kinds of things, and so it's kind of cool. But like, I just never really. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I never really clicked with it. Like. Maybe it's because I get bored stealthing. I don't really know. Like,
because sometimes you just want to run in and gun everything, and then like I gotta wait for this stupid guard to walk past and the little light indicator. I am
slightly impatient. That is true.
So that hinders a lot of the.
And I know there's like movement tech that you can unlock and stuff. But
the special powers. I don't know how to do that.
I just like I don't know.
Let me throw a fireball at somebody. Call it a day.
It's true. If I want to be. Like creeped out in a weird dystopian setting, I'm just gonna play BioShock again. Like, you know what I mean? Like
we're
just gonna play that, and then you can just do.
don't have to sneak in that game.
No, right? So it's fine. So like, I don't know. But yeah, so that was I never finished. I don't remember if I finished The Witcher or not. The Witcher is also just like the storytelling in that game is like so devastating that if you are actually invested in it, like sometimes you just like can't emotionally handle anymore for a while.
Yeah.
And you need to stop.
The Red Baron.
Yeah, right? Like the whole,
Hold on, I need a 30-minute cry after this.
Yeah, like I'm not crying, you're crying, guys. It's fine. I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's kind of like that. Like it's not exactly just the happiest of things happening all the time. So sometimes you do need to like take a break and like just
I'm trying to think of some games that I've like started like hot and heavy, and then I just got bored with. Is there any games that you can think of that's like, oh, then I'm getting really good, and then after like an hour, you're just like,
that does happen to me sometimes because like there's not like if there's not like anything interesting happening, right? Like I will do that. I will just be like, oh, I can't think of anything recently.
Yeah,
it's been like, oh, I think the last the Tomb Raider game, which is weird because I like those ones, but like I just started it and I just like didn't have enough time for it. I think. So just the thought of like having to like go all around and collect all the stuff and do all the things, I was like, yeah, I can't do this right now. Like I'm not ready for collectathoning. I can't like.
I think there's been a series of games that have been like that. That's like, oh, look at this parkour mechanic, and oh, climb this wall, and then it's like, I've done this 1,000 times.
That is true.
It's just a different make and model and a different skin. So I'm trying to think of the latest game, but I've also been doing a lot of PC games. And if the internet is slightly bad, it just throws off the whole thing.
True.
I'm like, you know what? I don't want to play today.
I think also I got really upset. Not upset, but like I was playing because I've been playing through all the Yakuza games, right?
Ooh, yeah.
And they're like super good and I love them very much. But I was like almost finished with Yakuza 5. And then my game save like broke. And it like my save corrupted and I like didn't have another one. And so like it like set me back to the like the beginning of the game after like 3 hours. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. And I just didn't play it anymore. And I need to finish that game. But the thought of starting all over again and playing all of that up. So that's like I won't like 100 because I was like doing a lot of the side missions and stuff. So like I may play that one again next because I really like those games a lot. I think those are like some of my favorite games ever. But I haven't played 6. And I want to, so I need to finish 5. And so I need to finish 5. And there's like 7,000 of those games anyway. So like I need to finish 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And then there's like some of the new like a Dragon games came out too. So I need to play Like a Dragon 2 or whatever. So that because I played the first one and that game is really awesome. And so I just need to catch back up on that series. But like I think the emotional distress of being almost done and my game save like corrupting and setting me back to the beginning was like so overwhelming. Because Yakuza 5 has, I think, actually 5 characters because that's a thing. So they were like, there's like 5 different characters and like each chapter is like a character. And then at the end, they like sort of all come together and like you see the culmination of this like very large elaborate, like the stories are like over the top, like Japanese like gang warfare, corporation corruption. It's like it's insane.
But those chapters are happening like sequentially.
Yeah.
Or like
well, I think there's some of them are happening simultaneously. So it's like here's Kiryu, right? Oh, here's Sajima Taiga, right? Oh, here's Haruka, right? And then the other guy, his name I can't remember, right? Like there's overlap, right? So they're kind of happening simultaneously, and they're kind of like building towards this big overarching story with the Daigo Dojima disappearance and all this stuff. So like, it's a whole thing, but it's kind of overwhelming to have to start that all over again. But I need to do that because I need to see the end of that game. Plus, who doesn't need more Goro Mojima in their life? So that's really important. And then I want to play 6. So you have to play. This is, again, when you get stuck in a game series, you have a problem because now there's 6. There is the Man Who Erased His Name spin-off series, like Where Did Kiryu Go? And then there's I played Like a Dragon already somehow, an accident. And then there's Like a Dragon 2. And then there's like some weird Like a Dragon spin-off with Goro in it. See, it's just kind of nuts. So like, so it's like a very big, long overhaul thing. So like I need to go just sort of like get back on the wagon and play more Yakuza.
Well, one game that I just thought of that I kind of got to the point where either it was just way too hard for me for that learning curve, or I was just got bored from it, is the Dragon's Dogma series.
Oh yeah,
the stupid pawns, like I couldn't keep them alive, and so I didn't get very far. So that I was thinking the whole time of what game would get to me. So
true. My controversial game. Oh, I have a controversial one.
Oh no!
You ready?
Love it.
A game that I want to like, but I just don't, is Elden Ring.
I've heard. I hear a lot of people really do like it's their game.
I know. I think I don't. It's too long.
yeah,
Right. And I feel like it's like really big and open, and you can explore like all kinds of places and stuff. But I feel like the reward for exploration is like nothing.
yeah.
Like you'll do these like dungeons, or you'll go to the catacombs, and you're looking like, especially after your first, like on your first playthrough, like I was just like going around and like exploring stuff. Then I'd like go down to the bottom of this dungeon, and then I would fight like a boss, and I would get like nothing. And then I would go to a different dungeon later, and then I would be like, oh, it's that boss again.
Oh geez.
And then like you would still get nothing like for your reward for the dungeon. So like it's weird that in like the Souls games, like people really bemoan Dark Souls 2 because it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of reused enemies and it's the same boss over and over again and blah, blah, blah. And that's literally Elden Ring, but everyone loves Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Probably because it's not quite as jank as Dark Souls 2 is,
Yeah.
but like...
It's the newer version of all that.
Yeah. So Elden Ring is Dark Souls 2 too. But like, it's like, you know, you do all this thing, you do all this exploration, and then it'll be like, oh, you know, you're in a dungeon, and you're like, oh, it's the Mad Pumpkin Head boss. And then, which is like a giant guy with a big pumpkin looking helmet, and he's got like a mace, right?
Got it.
And then in a different dungeon, there's a different Mad Pumpkin Head boss with a different weapon. Oh, but in this dungeon, it's both of them together. Like, bro, I've fought this same enemy like 5 times, and like I only want to fight like, you know, you can only fight like so many Erdtree avatars and so many exact same dragon fights, and like, so, you know, like all the field boss dragons, they're just the same.
Yeah,
they're all the same. Like some of them just have like way more health, and like, oh, this one will freeze you, but this one will rot you. Like, okay, it's just a different status effect, but it's like the same thing. So I'm like, you don't have to fight these things.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, oh, it's here again. And it's not necessarily interesting enough for me to want to do that. Like, I'm a very boring Souls player, which is like very standard. Like, where's my big giant hammer? Smash in the face. Done. So like, I don't know. I just like, there's a lot of interesting mechanics there, but some of them I just don't want to engage with, and because I don't care about them. But in order for the game to be played properly, you need to engage with them, right? The game's designed for you to use them, but I don't care about like buffing my weapon like 18 different ways and like doing all this stuff, like one-shotting a boss. Like, that's not fun. But also fighting 7 magma worms is not fun either. So like, oh no, this one stands up. Like, cool. I don't neat, I guess. So I don't know.
I'm sure game designers with gameplay, like, man, you can imagine just what those writing and creative circles are like, trying to think of something that hasn't been done.
Yeah.
Keep the game fresh from one thing to another. That must be frustrating.
And I think like the lore is cool and stuff, but I think it's just too long, right? You just go through too much of the game.
Oh, sure.
Right? Like the map is too big. You know what I mean? Because like people really like Dark Souls 1. It's a much smaller game. Right? Sekiro is the best game they ever made. It is a very small game, but the combat and the bosses are crazy. Right? So like, that's my favorite one. Right, Sekiro is my favorite FromSoft game. It's the best.
I had to look this up because I forgot what it's called. I guess my controversial one would be Creedfall.
I kind of like that one.
See, I got kind of bogged down with being in the city and doing all the
Now,
stuff before you left. And
That's true. It's
getting
slow.
to the new world, and it's like, I don't want to do this.
I liked that game only because, like, it doesn't do anything particularly interesting with the like party system, right? And it gives you a lot of characters, but like it has the RPG character problem where it's like, oh, I don't need that guy. Like you, like they join your party and you're like, I'm not going to use that dude, right? Like you have big sword dude, you have like healer dude, and you have you. You're like, yep,
that's all I need.
Good to go. Like nailed it. I don't need anything else. So there was like not enough party composition to make it interesting. But the only thing that I liked about the game was the what do we call this? The unique like setting factor of like it is like a high fantasy setting, but it's like set during like the age of discovery.
Yeah.
So it's like I think like it's because everything is very like 1700s, but it's like fantasy setting. Yeah. So like that's cool that it's like a fantasy setting that is not medieval. And so I liked that part.
Yeah, because every other major fantasies it's like that. So it's like, oh, here's this knight, and then here's this paladin. You're like, oh. Mm-hmm.
So this one had some different classes slightly, but there was still like magic, heavy sword dude,
and
healer lady. Oh yeah, then there was like the ranged person. Because there was like one lady I unlocked. I was like, I don't think I never used her. She was cool. But it was kind of neat, like the Age of Discovery, the different factions on the island. Like it was just unique enough that I finished it. Yeah, like, was it the most, like, mechanically, it wasn't interesting necessarily, but artistically, it was. And the story was just good enough that I wanted to keep playing it.
Yeah.
And there was just enough, like, giant random monsters that I was like, okay.
Yeah. Kept your interest.
Yeah. Like, giant monsters of doom in the middle of the wood. That was good enough.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like, it's not, like, the best game I've ever played, but I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It was fun. I liked it.
Because I did everything, and then I got to the new world, and I think I was just kind of burnt out at that point, because there was like a stealth mission, there was a big monster boss thing, and there's all the other stuff, and then you got to finally go, and it's like, I don't...
This is a problem if the prologue is too long.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like in a book, if you read a book, foreshadowing for later, where like if the exposition bit is too long, and it takes too long to get through, you're like already bored. Because, like, you need to know the mechanics and stuff, but also you just need to be like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Right?
Give me this and let's go.
Yeah. And so, like, and I know that it's hard sometimes in, like, very story-heavy games, because I like single-player story games. Like, that's kind of my jam. I like that a lot. But, like, it has to do with the writing. Because I think that's why the Yakuza games are so good. And I think my actual, like, low-key underdog favorite game of all time on the list is definitely, like, Sleeping Dogs. Have you ever played Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah,
oh, my gosh, the game is so rad. It's like if a Hong Kong, like an 80s or 90s Hong Kong action movie was a video game. Yes. Right? It's like undercover policemen in Hong Kong, triads, gang boss, question loyalty, like... It's all there. And it's like it's so good. But the writing and the characters and the acting is really good.
Yeah.
So like, it starts and you're in and you're just like going. But it's not like, oh, go over here. No, there's not many when a game starts with fetch quests.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out.
You have some questions.
Yeah. Unless you don't have to do unless the game is like Skyrim where it's like you could go here or what if I did it?
Yeah.
Or like Cyberpunk this time when I'm playing through it, like I may have done all of the side missions before finishing lots of main story parts. So like insanely powerful already. Like, whoops, oh well, it's fine. But you can like go around and do all the other stuff and like meet all the other characters and things. Like there you go. But yeah. So that's is there any more games that I stopped playing? I'd have to look at my shelf. But I don't think so. Oh, I did. I tried to play some, like... I downloaded some games off, like, Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
They were just, like, free. And there was a couple where I was just like, oh, this might be fun. And then I was playing it, and like mechanically, I was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time. I don't want to do this. And some of them were like driving like simulator games.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this sounds cool in theory. And then I started playing it. I was like, ooh, no, this is too real. I need more arcadey in my like racing driving game than this. This is too like. I can't remember what it was. One of those. One of them was like because I was like, I just need something to play, just like to chill, like listen to
casual play.
Yeah, like I wanted to like listen to some like YouTube videos or whatever, and just like play a game, right? And like not really be super invested. And so I was like, one of those driving simulator games, like the might be cool. And I played one for like 30 minutes and was like, no, this is too like back and forthy, and like I'm like, but this is not fun. This is not for me. Like, I don't really think this is my jam. So it's like, oh, what Stardew Valley? Oh no, okay, there we go. Play that instead. There was another one that I think people really like. Oh, I tried to play Tunic, and it's kind of like Zelda-y, like old Zelda-y, like Castlevania-y kind of thing. And I was just like, this is not a game that I need to play while I'm trying to just like chill and like not think about things, because you have to remember. It's one of those games where you like come here, oh, I can't get that, leave, come back later with new, like I can't. This is not what I want right now. So it's not that the game is bad. It was just not the game that I needed at the time. I was just like, this is not. That's not what I thought this was. I'm not going to do that. I was just going to be like, I just need some hack and slashy, like brain off, stabby. And then like, okay, no, that's not this game. This game is like thinking and like crafting stuff and like puzzles. Like, oh no.
I don't have time for that.
I don't need Zelda. Okay, that's not what I want. So yeah, I think those are the only ones that come to my head off the top of my head right now that I'm just like giving up on. Like, oh, I don't do this right now. Or some games, if I like, oh, I want to replay that, and then I remember how long it is. I'm like, oh, wait. Like, so I'll just play it and like mess around for a while, but like not with like when you play Skyrim sometimes now. You're like, oh, I just want to like be in Skyrim and like mess around and do stuff. Like, I'm not actually trying to finish this game right now.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna like smack Draugr on the head with this hammer, and like that's really all I need in my life. Like, I don't I'm not going in, I'm not starting this planning a huge playthrough to finish the game. I'm just gonna
because there are some of those games that like there's too much content, and you're just like, I just want something. There's very few like, hey, I'm gonna turn my brain off and just play.
Yeah,
and like there's like one of my favorite games, the Warhammer Total War game, is just this massive monstrosity of a game. There's so many characters on it that I haven't played. Like like I'll play like my 4 or 5 favorite people, and like that's it. Yeah, like there's just so much content that I don't have time to just be like, oh, and then like relearn how to do somebody. But I don't have it pulled up, but I was kind of trying to remember what's on my Steam list, and I'm like, I think there's an game on there, and it's like Pond Simulator. That's like, raise or lower the pH level of the water.
Oh my god!
Add these fish. What happens
or
if
one
you
of those
add these
like
barracudas? And it's like, cool.
Yeah, I tried to download I didn't try. I downloaded because I was like, I downloaded one of those like fishing simulators. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And I was like, even this is too much ridiculous. Like, this is too like not. Like, I'm not good at fishing anyway, so like as we've discussed previously,
video game form.
So in video game form, I'm not better. Yeah. So like, I was like, could this be a chill and just like relax? But I was like, nope, I can't do that. Apparently, I must be like racing, or like I will just play Forza.
Yeah,
right. I play Forza 5 a lot. That's my like. I'm just gonna sit down and like I got like 20 minutes. I'll drive this Ferrari in this race real fast.
Yeah.
Or like I will play Sekiro because it is so engaged. Like the combat is so engaging.
Ooh, yeah.
Like I'll just do like the boss fights because like the rest of the game isn't so bad, and it's not long. It's like difficult and stimulating and challenging, but it's not long. So once the the weird thing is, like, I struggled, like, super hard to play that game the first time, right? We talked about it. The overcoming of Ishin, right? And then I played it again later, and I was like, oh, yeah. Damn. Take that. Take that, Genichiro.
But like there's like I literally just forgot it. It is a game that came out a few years ago. I think it's the guy that came up with no. I'm gonna have to cut this part out.
Okay.
I completely went blank.
What? We don't cut anything.
It's true.
It's all live.
Hold on.
This is being streamed right now.
Oh, there we go.
We do nothing. We can
It-
faff about here.
It's the video game that has like it's like the traveling and delivering stuff, and there's the guy that has like the baby.
Yeah.
That game.
Kojima.
Yeah.
Right?
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, and it's Norman Reedus.
Yes, he spoke Kojima.
I don't know. Yeah, walking simulator. Right?
Well, so I was going to ask because I know that there is a trucking simulator where you drive your truck across.
Yeah,
those are actually pretty fun.
Yeah,
But they're like too real, right?
Yeah.
And you have to Death Stranding.
Yeah, I was going to say Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, the Death Stranding game where just like the introduction cutscene is 4 hours long. Like, nope, can't, not gonna try. Or when you try to download something and it's like, hey, can you delete some space off of your console because like you'll need 2 consoles for this amount of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
no.
because I bought a few years ago. I bought like the quote unquote latest Call of Duty game. 6 hours to download. I was like, oh, okay, this is fine.
I haven't
Having
played
fun.
any of those games in forever.
Yeah, but I digress. I could not think of
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding or the second one that came out. That was
Death Stranding 2.
yeah, vastly longer.
Ugh.
Because then I see all these people playing it online. I was like, I can do that, and then you try to download it, and you're like, yeah, your computer will catch fire if you finish this. I'm like, and delete. Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
I watched a Let's Play of that game, and that was good enough for me. I didn't watch the whole thing even because it was like so long. But
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes you watch people playing it, and you're like, oh yeah, I want to play that. And other times you're like, no, I'll just watch you. That's good. I'm good.
I'll be fine.
I don't need to play this.
There-
This is not. It's not it.
There is a game coming out, I think next year. It's a Total War game, but it's Warhammer 40k Total War. And if you know anything about the 40k universe, as massive as that is, they're putting that in game form.
I hear Henry Cavill's very excited about this.
Yes, he is. And I want that game so bad, but I know my computer cannot handle it, so I'll have to watch people play from a distance, and a single teardrop will fall upon my face. And I'll be very sad. Because my computer barely holds the game I'm playing now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe one day.
To tack some hard drive onto it.
Mhm.
It's like, plug in, there you go.
Keep
It's
doing
fine.
external stuff.
True. It's all right. Yes. Anyway, now that Colin has been exclusively left out of this discussion,
No. We've got game talk back on. This is good. But I'm out on this. Sorry, I'm just not.
Slight bonus: Cat has appeared on screen,
good.
so we are.
all right, cat found.
Oh
Yep.
goodness.
Still just it's slinky.
Mother-in-law was literally driving to our house to go check on it because we thought we locked him in the room. But no, he's been caught on live stream, so he's
There we
good
go.
to go. So,
Okay.
all right, carry on.
There we go.
Very good.
So speaking of slinking around, though,
Slinking around.
let's talk about your boy Pip.
Lots of
Oh boy,
slinking.
there is some
This-
slinking, right? So,
We're in chapter 16.
16, right? There was sneaking, and turns out we rumors of her death were also greatly exaggerated.
Spoiler for
li-
later.
Literally, it's right here in this chapter. Like they're
Well-
talking about her like she's alive. I thought sister was dead.
Well, because he ended the last one with, while she was the wife of Joe. But what that was actually saying was her change in temperament.
Yeah,
Because we ended with, destined never to be on the rampage again, while she was the wife of Joe, leading us to believe that she was in fact dead. But no, It was just that she was no longer rampaging.
Well, she's no longer really speaking.
No longer a lot
So
of things.
she's
yeah.
like suffered some major head trauma and like cannot talk, cannot function, right? They can't understand her.
But what was found at the crime scene?
Yes.
Before we get to her, because Pip starts off really concerned, but then he's like, because he thought he was going to be a suspect, but then he was like, but in the clear light of day, XYZ, it was all fine, there was no issues.
Oh, that's true. However, we do have an important literary reference apparently at the beginning of this chapter. Also,
I was what I knew it
that is important for the rest of this chapter. So, like before we discover this, right?
Who's George Barnwell?
Yeah. So in the last chapter, we know that was it Wopsle.
Wopsle was exhorting.
He was reading this George Barnwell book to Pip, right? And so I was like, surely this is important, right? George Barnwell, also called The London Merchant, was a highly popular tragedy from 1731.
Oh.
Right? And it follows the downfall of, wait for it, the downfall of apprentice George Barnwell, who is seduced by prostitute Sarah Millwood, leading him towards theft and murder. Right? And so Wopsle is reading this book at Pip, saying like, see what happens if you don't stay on the straight and narrow, blah, blah. So this is like Wopsle again, like preaching to Pip about his behavior and like, look what could happen if you do bad. Right?
Okay.
And so that's why whenever at the beginning of this chapter, when Pip's talking about my head full of Barnwell, I thought that this must surely have been my fault in some manner,
Yes.
right? So he thought this was all his fault because he'd just been preached at for the past like several hours about how he is all of the wrongdoings in his life are his fault because he makes such bad choices. Right? But we did find upon the floor an iron ring, right? An iron ring that had been filed through, but not recently. Right? Not recently. And Pip makes the connection like this. I believe the iron could only be my convict's iron. The iron I had seen and heard him filing at on the marshes, but my mind did not accuse him of having put it in the latest use. So he doesn't think the convict was the one who did it, but he thinks that this ring came from that person. And so he doesn't know how it ended up here, but it appears to be the weapon of assault.
But he does have two suspects.
He does.
Right? The aforementioned, very poorly named Orlick.
Yes.
Right? Or the strange man who had shown me the file. Boy, howdy did I forget about that man.
Yeah. Just a random person that was in the bar.
Stirring his drink with a file.
A totally normal thing to do.
That's what everybody always does.
I mean, yeah, that's what I do. When I have a drink, I stir it with a file, obviously. The other part of this was also very interesting, right? Where he talks about how well or not well the constables were handling this, right?
Yeah.
They took up several obviously wrong people, and they ran their heads very hard against wrong ideas and persisted in trying to fit the circumstances to the ideas instead of trying to extract ideas from the circumstances. How some things never change. Look at that.
And how would a parallel to what his sister would do to him?
Yes.
She would, I think there was literally a scene where she was like smashing his face against a wall or something.
Yeah, she was blaming him for doing something.
Yes, that
right?
he actually didn't do.
Yeah.
And like, so it's like, you're getting, it's like seeing these act out in the public, but also, yes.
This just reminded me of the part in Casablanca where the guy's like, round up the usual suspects.
Yes, usual suspects.
That's who we've done here.
Go out. That's all they do.
And so also, she's been severely injured, right? Potential like traumatic brain injury happening here. And she can't really talk, right? And so they need to like take care of her. And it just so happens
I laughed so hard when we got to this point because they don't know what to do. Joe's at a loss. Pip is really struggling with this. And then he says, we were at a loss to find a suitable attendant for her until a circumstance happened conveniently to relieve us. Mr. Wopsle's great aunt conquered a confirmed habit of living into which she had fallen.
That is a way to say that the ant died.
Ant died.
So now Biddy is available.
Yes.
And so Biddy moves in, and Biddy seems to be able to deal with this situation like very well and takes to it immediately. The other part that was, I think it was supposed to be mildly funny. It's like funny and tragic at the same time, is that because she can't talk, she would try to write on the slate.
Yes.
And she can't write and Joe can't read. And so they can't really communicate with each other at all.
Yep. Yeah. As she was very bad handwriting apart, a more than indifferent speller, and as Joe was a more than indifferent reader, extraordinary complications arose between them, which I was always called in to solve. But they have a weird letter or symbol that they can't figure out, right? Biddy's first success when she comes in.
Yeah, it looks to be the letter T, and they get everything in the house they can think of that has a letter T. And it turns out that it's a hammer, and she wanted to talk to Orlick.
Dun, dun, dun. And it seems she's not upset whenever he's in. She gets calmer, and she likes when he's there. This is
Suspicious.
odd.
Yes. Right. But yeah, so that's basically this chapter, right? We have after that day, a day rarely passed without her drawing the hammer on her slate, and without Orlick slouching in and standing doggedly before her, as if he knew no more than I did what to make of it. So, like, she wants him there. We don't know why. He is a fiendish fiend.
And Orlick appears to not know why either.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. All the alleged.
True. So that's chapter 16. Very weird. So again, oops, she's not dead. We may have spoke too soon, right? I was led to believe at the conclusion of the last chapter that she had in fact perished. No, just kidding. JK. Right.
Can I tell you what AI says about chapter 16?
Sure.
Oh, sure.
This character serves as a detective story of sorts, though the justice served is murky at best. The evidence, the victim, the Biddy moves in. And those are like the little sections that I don't want to read because they're really, really long.
That's fair. So yeah, that's pretty much summary. It's kind of weird. Again, we're just sort of like progressing little bits of the story.
Except now...
But again, the way that this book is written is like one chapter will progress like one aspect of the story, but then the next chapter progresses a different aspect. So you have to like come back later and be like, oh yeah.
And also keeping track of time in this book
is very difficult.
Is very, very difficult because I believe it's in this chapter 17 where all of a sudden it's like, have months passed?
Yes.
Or have years?
Yeah, much time has passed in this next
unsure,
chapter.
And I'm like, wait, how old is Pip now at this point? Because also we had the weird Miss Haversham thing where he was coming over on birthdays, and that was like the annual update that we got. So it's like, it seems like since we started this book,
there's been like 4 years or something at least.
Yes.
Happening.
It's been very hard to, yes, because he continues to go to Miss Havisham, and everything's still dull there, and he still is envious of that life.
Yes. Right. Estella is still not there. But so like we have this chapter's weird because like it's almost like he's like, well, Stella is gone, but now Biddy is around more.
Imperceptibly, I became more conscious of a change in Biddy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's like,
Well, we are maturing, right? We're going through puberty at this point, I would imagine, right? And so now he's like, oh, and he's just been around her so much. Estella's not there. So he's like, maybe she's not so bad. Right? Like, meh. And this chapter it's just very weird because basically they have this big long talk. He's sort of thinking about her and he's like, she's like, he even asked her at one point, he's like, how is it that you know all the things that I know, even though you're teaching me them? And she's like, I don't know, I just learned them. So she's like pretty quick on the uptick, right? She knows a lot of stuff. She's pretty wise. She's good at a lot of things. But like Pip is, again, he's like, I can't really think about how I want to phrase this, but he is he's thinking about Biddy, and he's sort of contemplating what life would be like if he would like be with Biddy instead.
Yes.
And then he thinks that is like too low for where his aims are, right? Because he still is on this, like, he wants to be this gentleman, high society person, and he feels that Biddy would be beneath that. Mm-hmm. So even though she is a good person, and he does like her, and he does have some sort of feelings for her, she does not represent what he wants out of his life. And this is a very weird, kind of awkward conversation, because he basically tells her that.
Well, yeah, so he has this weird, like, this interaction where they're having this intro where he's like, wait, like, yeah, why are you so good at this? And then he says, well, yeah, you've always been my first teacher. You were my first teacher. So let's go ahead and let's go talk more. Right.
And he invites her on a Sunday walk.
On a Sunday walk. After we get the little jab at Mr. Wopsel's great aunt.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, so highly desirable to be got rid of by some people. And yeah, then he's like, let's go for a long chat. And Joe is even like, absolutely.
Yeah.
You should go do this. And allows them to go do that. And immediately he's going on this walk, and he's immediately thinking of Havisham and Estella immediately on this walk. And this is a very, like you said, a very awkward conversation, because he does come out and just say it. And the whole time it's Biddy saying like, okay, well, you know best, and however you want, right? She's not really giving a opinion one way or the other about this.
But he's like hard friend zoning her right now is basically what's happening.
Yeah.
Because she says like, well, I appreciate one thing about you, Pip, and that is you giving me your confidence. Mm-hmm. And he was like, and you shall always have it, buddy.
As a friend.
As a friend. Ah, dang it. Like, yes. Oh, no. So that is kind of, because I think it's hard to read what she wants, like, is thinking about the situation, right? Because obviously we only have Pip's perspective. But, like, it feels like she was maybe hoping for a bit more out of this situation, and then the fact that he is doing this is like, she's just like, whatever, bro, I'm not going to waste she's kind of almost like, yeah, I'm not going to waste my time thinking about you anymore, right? I'll be here to listen to you and talk to you, but like, we're not going to be like, I'm not going to worry about this kind of stuff, like.
But in here he does say, we get both sides of this coin, I think, which shows a little bit of these emotions, because a little bit earlier, Pip said, I should have been good enough for you, shouldn't I, Biddy? And then she says, yeah, I'm not overly particular, which is a little bit of jab at him, which is great. Yeah. I love that. But then he said, so here I am going on, dissatisfied and uncomfortable, and what would it signify to me being coarse and common if nobody had told me so? Basically, he's like, I know I'm not. And Biddy, for the first time, gets reaction out of Biddy. Mm. She immediately turns towards him, and she says, it was neither very true nor a very polite thing to say. Who said it?
Yeah. She's mad that that's what Estella told him.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, well, that's kind of a jerk move. Like, why would you tell someone that? It's not true. Right? It's kind of the same thing that Joe told him earlier. Like, you're not common, right? You're common at some things, but uncommon at others, right? Yeah. You have natural talents and abilities, and you can do certain things well. Maybe other things you can't do well, but that's fine. You can't do everything, That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And so she's sort of just reiterating the same thing that Joe told him several chapters ago, which who knows how many years ago that was. Somewhere between 2 and 6 years ago. Right? Like, we don't know. But she's telling him the same thing, and Pip is still not listening to it because he has his eyes and his heart set on this like dream of like glory and gentlemanship that he thinks is what Estella and Miss Havisham have. Again, I don't know how he got this out of a crazy old lady who sits alone in her giant mansion in the dark all the time. I don't know how he was like, yes, that's that is what I shall aspire to be. Like, that's kind of weird.
Except that he was made to feel uncomfortable by the jabs and the snide remarks about how different he was. And he does say, yeah, I want to be a gentleman on her account. And then Biddy says this wonderful question, right? She asks him that question of, do you want to be a gentleman to spite her or to gain over her? And then she goes on to...
He can't really answer that question.
No, well, she says, because if it's this one, that's bad. And if it's this other one, that's also bad. And he's like, exactly. I know. What a way to... It was exactly what was perfectly manifest to me at that moment. But how could I, a poor, dazed village lad, avoid that wonderful inconsistency into which the best and wisest of men fall every day?
Yes.
Pip, there's a third way here. Like,
there is.
You can just choose not to engage.
You don't have to do that. And then like this, like they decide to go home, right?
Oh,
and then we get this like weird aside here because who else is on their way home?
Oh,
but Orlick, who is a villainous, and Biddy doesn't like Orlick, and Pip is like, well, I don't either, but why don't you like him?
Yeah. What?
And she says, he dances at me. I don't really know what that means. It is kind of like makes weird gestures or just makes her uncomfortable because he's like some weird dude who's like much older than her and he's like being provocative towards her. She doesn't like it.
Yeah, she said, because I'm afraid he likes me. And he said, did he ever tell you that he liked you? And Pip asked indignantly.
Yeah. Yeah. Because now Pip's like, wait a minute. You're my friend zone person. So no one else can like you.
Yes.
Like, again, Pip can't do that.
Yeah.
But like, he during this interaction, when he learns that Orlick treats her this way, he becomes very protective of Biddy.
I was very hot indeed upon old Orlick's daring to admire her, as hot as if it were an outrage on myself. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she says, but it makes no difference to you, Biddy said calmly. No, Biddy, it makes no difference to me.
Yeah. But he still, every time he would do that, he like walked between them.
Yeah. It was
and then
great.
like every time he's like, I endeavored to any time in the future that he would do these things and act this way towards her, I would stand between them so that she didn't have to see him do that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's very weird. I don't know.
Yes. And so he does start talking about now that after this conversation, though, he finally feels like he had some grounding of, you know what, maybe my life isn't all that bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I could make this work. But then the end of this chapter tells us that he starts to think of otherwise. Right?
Yeah, he just keeps going back and forth between like, oh, this is fine, this is enough, or like, no, this is no good, and I'm no good, and I need to be better, and blah, blah, blah. Like, he just like keeps vacillating between these two thought processes seemingly very quickly, right?
And then we get a little foreshadowing here at the end of this chapter where he says, what did it says? Some days, scattered wits take a long time picking up, and often before I had got them well together, they would be dispersed in all directions by one stray thought that perhaps, after all, Miss Havisham was going to make my fortune when my time was left out. And then it ends by saying, it never did run out, however, but was brought to a premature end as I proceed to relate.
Yeah.
And then we go in
chapter 18. Okay, 18 is where our time skip happened, right? This is we are now 4 years into the
It was in the
apprenticeship.
fourth year!
Yeah. Again, we just like hop, skip, jump all over the place. This chapter is rough to read. I'm not going to lie. Not only, spoilers for just a minute, not only is this just like Dickens doing his writing thing, this also has Dickens writing dialogue of a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what?
Mm-hmm.
So some of these sentences are even longer and slightly incomprehensible. And so you really have to like slow down. And I had to reread some of this to like try to figure out what on earth was happening. But we start the scene in the Jolly Bargeman.
Yes.
As one does, where Mr. Wopsle is reading from the paper about a trial, right?
Reading dramatically.
Yes.
From the paper.
Of a highly popular murder that had been committed, right? And so he is adding his kind of take on this whole situation, right? And there is another strange gentleman leaning in the corner.
Of course.
One who has a strange habit of biting his foreknuckle on his hand. It's very
Very
keeps
interesting.
biting his finger. He refers to him biting his finger like 18 million times in this chapter. And so he starts challenging them on this. He's like, what do you know about this? He's like, I don't think that's right. Because he's like, do you not think that in this great country of England that all men should be innocent until proven guilty? Is that not what it says in our law? And Wopsle's like, what do you mean? And this guy keeps calling him out on his stuff. And so much so that the people in the bargemen are like kind of turning on Wopsle and being like, maybe this guy doesn't know all this stuff that he portends to, right? Like, and he's like, well, what do you know about it? He's like, I, sir, am a lawyer.
Yes. And he really lays into Wopsle. And this dialogue was hard to follow too.
No, later. Later on.
But I'm saying too, because it's like the lawyer is having conversations of like, look at the paper. No, further down, like blah blah.
Yeah.
There's some of that
because
like,
he was
contextual thing. He's like pointing out where to go and how to look, and
because the lawyer was also reading the same paper earlier, and he was like, no, you didn't read this part of this chapter or this paragraph because you didn't mention this part to all these people, and it's like. Called out, Wopsle, old boy.
Yes, we were all deeply persuaded that the unfortunate Wopsle had gone too far and had better stop in his reckless career while there was yet time. And so, you're right. People have a little bit of a different thought, Mr. Wopsle.
That's true. So after this little scene plays out, then we get the lawyer being like, I'm actually here to talk to somebody is there somebody named Joe here? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, is there also somebody named Pip here? And Pip's like, yeah.
Yes.
And then the stranger did not recognize me, but I recognized him as a gentleman I had met on the stairs on the occasion of my second visit to Miss Haversham's. I had known him the moment I saw him looking over the settle, which I assume means couch chair thing. And now that I stood confronting him with my his hand upon my shoulder, I checked off again in detail his large head, his dark complexion, his dropped, deep-set eyes, his bushy black eyebrows, his large watch chain, his strong black dots of beard and whisker, and even the smell of scented soap in his great hand. Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, it's a lawyer dude. I haven't seen this guy before. I didn't know who he was before, but it's the guy that we ran into on the stairs many chapters and many years ago. But Pip does remember him, and so he wants to go talk to them in the back. And then so follows a very long and kind of dry conversation in which the words great expectations are used approximately 27 times.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's between 10 and 300 times.
True.
Use of great expectations. I was like, I'm going to highlight or just mark every time I see it, and then I just stopped because I was like, I don't.
It's too many.
Anymore.
It's too many.
Because it was like you have expectations, you have great expectations, there are expectations, and other expectations, and oh my goodness! So yes, we are introduced to Lawyer Jaggers from London,
and so basically, the long and short of it is an unnamed client, which Mr. Jaggers represents, wants to relieve Pip of his apprenticeship.
Yep.
Right? And that's the whole long and short of it. Because Pip has been officially apprenticed with the seal and the judge and the stamping and the whatever, we need a lawyer to officially apprentice him. Right?
And not that, but only that, but also provide him with education, and make him a man of stature. Right?
Yes, this person, this unnamed individual, who's potentially not so mysterious, wants him to go to London, be educated, and become a gentleman. They're going to sponsor his gentlemanship, if that is a phrase that you can say, basically.
I think what you meant to say was that he will come into a handsome property. Further, that it is the desire of the present possessor of that property that he be immediately removed from his present sphere of life and from this place, and be brought up as a gentleman, in a word, as a young fellow of great expectation.
Yeah. This chapter is full of that, and it's a little rough to read, but basically, he's like, all right, this is what's going to happen. He's like, Joe, you good? And Joe's like, yeah, I guess.
Because he wanted to say, do you want money as recompense for this, right? As compensation for the losings. And we'll get more to that because that comes back up and again.
Yeah.
He asks Joe in the beginning, like, are you good if we do this? And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't stand in his way. And then we're relieved of we're shown what happened. And then in Pip, here now Pip is like, now we get to some particulars about what's happening, and it's Pip's things. We have these little spurts of, my dream was out, my wild fantasy was surpassed by sober reality. Miss Haversham was going to make my fortune on a grand scale. And then he has trouble responding back to the lawyer. He's like stammering, his heart's pounding because he just can't believe what's going on.
But Joe also gets like really mad because at the end, right? So after this goes on for way too long, too many pages, Joe gets mad because the lawyer basically keeps like, "Are you sure you don't want any money?" And Joe's like, "Why are you coming in here trying to bait me?" And Joe basically gets up and like gets ready to box this dude.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, fine, it's fine. So then he's just like, okay, the sooner you leave here, the better. We're going to come here. You're going to come to London. We're going to do some thing. You're going to come to my office. I will get you squared away with the plan. Right? And Pip is very overjoyed. He's very excited. But now he's also conflicted again because he's like, yeah, I get to go do this thing. I have to leave all of these people that I know. Right? And he's kind of like, he doesn't know what to think about that.
Well, also, he also has this weird turn where the thing about the clothes comes up.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll come show you the clothes, but I'll do it at nighttime so that nobody else can see it. And then it's like, really?
Yeah,
like,
he's getting like, he's already like
uncomfortable with this.
And he's like already kind of snobby about it towards Joe. And I think that puts Joe off, right? Joe's like, fine, whatever. I don't care. Do whatever you want, right? Like, if we're not going to be good enough for you and you're going to treat us that way, then you could just get and it's fine. Don't worry about it, right?
And he doesn't even want to be the one to tell Biddy about it either.
Yeah,
that's again because it's he just says, Joe, have you told Biddy? They're all in the same room.
Yeah,
okay, same room. And he goes, no, Pip. And then he goes back, and then he goes, I'd rather. Joe says, which I left it to yourself, Pip. I would rather you told it, Joe. Pip's a gentleman of fortune, then, says Joe, and God bless him in it. That's all he says. And then she dropped her work, looked at her, and after a pause, they both heartily congratulated me. And he says this multiple times where he says, like, he starts to get annoyed.
That they're not, like, paying attention to him for it.
Well, and then also, like, how much they're congratulating him.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, this over-congratulation, and he thinks now he's, like, put off by that too, and he's made uncomfortable, but also he's not happy. He's can't understand why they're sad, and it's all. This is a lot of conflicting emotions going on in this.
Yeah, and then late at the very end, they go and start talking to each other about this, and like not including him, and then he's really upset about that, right? Like he's grumpy that they are doing that, but it's because he starts like he's being so snobby about it already, right? He hasn't even done anything, right? Just this opportunity and this chance has come, and he's like full blown snob, and they're just like they don't want anything to do with somebody who's snobbish and uppity and ridiculous. They don't like that. They're down to earth. They like Pip how he is. They've been trying to help Pip. They tell him he's enough, and Pip doesn't want to hear it from them, and he gets all uppity with him, and so they just stop talking to him. And then that upsets Pip. And so,
yeah. Yep. Yep. And they don't know how to handle this either. Because at one point, Pip's like, well, Saturday night, 5 more days, and then the day before the day, they'll soon go. Basically, like, it's going to go fast. And Joe's just like, yep, they will.
Yep. And so he's
soon to go.
Like right at the end, he's talking about it's feeling it very sorrowful and strange that this first night of my bright fortunes should be the loneliest that I had ever known.
Mm-hmm.
Because Joe and Biddy are downstairs just chatting it up, and he is upstairs all by himself because he won't go talk to them.
Yeah.
And
he's immediately pushed everybody out, like you said. He's blocked everybody out who he doesn't want them to see. Again, I could come back to those clothes because he's for some reason he's okay to go to Pimblechooks who's going to have the close end to Pimblechooks that he can pick up. I'd be very he goes, it would be very disagreeable to be stared at by all the people here. And Joe's like, Mr. and Mrs. Hubble might like to see you in your new genteel figure too, Pip, said Joe, industrially cutting his bread with the cheese on it in the palm of his left hand and glancing at my untasted supper as if he thought of the time when we used to compare slices. So already it's just the big gulf, big distance. And it's just, there's dissatisfaction all around. And Pip, because of how he's treating people, right, is a little, of course he's going to be dissatisfied.
Yeah. Well, and he thinks that upper society people are, like, his only interaction with people like this are Pumblechook, who thinks that he is like that, and he is pompous and arrogant and annoying. And Miss Haversham, who is definitely pompous and arrogant and annoying, right? So he has some bad role models on how to behave in society correctly, right? Somebody who goes around and wants everybody to pay attention to them and think they're hot stuff, and a crazy lady who's locked herself in a house for an uncertain number of years. Mm-hmm. So it's not really a wonder that he doesn't know what to do with this information, but also he's being a real big jerk to the people that have looked after him his whole entire life. And that's why they ignore him. And then he's like really surprised that they're ignoring him, and he shouldn't be. So they boom. So there we are at the end of chapter 18. So I guess next we're going off to London to go pantaloon shopping or whatever. I don't even know.
I don't know. And we'll see.
We'll see.
I have a feeling that these next several chapters I'm going to be immensely annoyed at Pip.
Yeah.
Very, very angry.
That's true, because I'm already quite annoyed with him this chapter. A lot.
Already.
Like 17 when he was being rude to Biddy. That was kind of annoying. And then this chapter he was being so snobby for no reason whatsoever. So that was annoying too. So probably going to continue that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. How did your AI summarize this one?
So I had a twofer for you. So chapter 18 is arguably the most pivotal moment in the entire novel. It is the moment the title, Great Expectations, finally comes to fruition as Pip's life is changed
many times
forever by a mysterious benefactor. This chapter takes place on a Saturday night at the local pub, the Three Jolly Bargemen, about a year after the events of chapter 17, which made me to deep dive further, which I'll come back, years spanning.
Good.
So from on chapters 14, 15, 16, and 17, he is approximately 15 to 16 years old. The dark years at the fore is the attack on Mrs. Joe, the growing rivalry between Orlek. Chapter 18 covers him 18 years old. So from chapter 12 and 13, he's about 11, 13 years old. There is a time jump from chapter 12, chapter 13 to chapter 14, 15, 16, 17, where he is 15 years old. And then there is a bigger jump at 18 years old for chapter 18, the turning point. Jaeger's arrived. Pip receives his Great Expectations.
So also, interestingly, at the beginning of this book, he was approximately 7.
For chapter.
So we've jumped 11 years in 18 chapters.
Yeah.
I do not feel like that.
So it's a Game of Thrones paradox. So like, how old is this? How long has it been?
So according to this, at the beginning, so it's hard to keep track of how he would behave, right?
Yeah.
So like at the beginning of the book, like I guess that tracks because that's when he meets the convict and he's like super terrified of him and being like attacked by himself. But if he's 7. That tracks.
That's
also,
true.
We didn't really have a good idea of how old he was at the beginning of the book, so it's been hard to keep track of this. But if now he is 17, 18, this like petulant, pompous attitude also kind of tracks.
Yeah.
Right? And especially in the last chapter. If the last chapter he was a couple of years long, he was like 14 through 17.
Yeah.
Like so when he was walking with Biddy, he's like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
being kind of an idiot like that.
That tracks. Totally
Tracks.
Yeah.
Right? Like so, I mean, like, it makes sense, but the fact that time jump happened so quickly and with, like, little more demarcation than, like, it had been 2 years since. Like, it's really kind of hard for me to conceptualize, like, how old is he right now?
Yeah,
like, what is happening?
Lining up some of the expectations.
Yeah.
Of those expectations.
Because I was not at 18, right? I was thinking we were somewhere like 15, 16 maybe. So not too far off, I guess, but like I was definitely not at 18 in my mental calculations of like where we could be right now.
So it goes further into a detailed breakdown of the years. The childhood gap, age 7 to 10, between the opening scene in the marshes and the first visit to Miss Havisham, about 3 years passes. During this time, Pip is struggling at Mr. Wopsel's great aunt's evening school, where Biddy eventually begins to teach him.
But that's like 2 pages. So the fact that is spanning 3 years is very difficult to like ascertain, right? Like,
do not get that feeling.
The next part, especially during this time period where apprenticeship, where you would like go and send a kid for like years, people, of 12 to 18, the most significant jump in time happens between chapter 13 and chapter 15. Once Pip is bound to Joe in an apprentice, the narrative slows down to describe his growing misery. Dickens notes that a year or 2 passes between visits to Miss Havisham. By the time we reach chapter 18, Pip has been an apprentice for several years. He is no longer a child, but a young man, roughly 18, capable of moving to London and living on his own.
Okay.
And then
because in this chapter we're talking about, he said it's been 4 years into my apprenticeship. That's in chapter 18.
Yeah.
So, that.
Okay.
But it's just, again, it happens like the time kind of like, he just sort of like flippantly says like, oh yeah, it'd been a couple years. Then like,
have passed.
some time passed.
Yes. Many moons.
How
many moons?
We're not going to say. So it's been kind of hard to keep track of this. So that does help a lot with understanding where Pip is like developmentally and why he would be thinking these things, and thinking because some of these time skips are described in a page and a half. Like, it's kind of hard to think about like he's been doing the same thing every day for like 4 years. Like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense as to what he's thinking about, but also less sense because he's still stuck on this idea of people that he hasn't seen. He hasn't seen Estella in like 6 years at this point then. And he's still like completely obsessed with her, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for
my
contribution. Time lining this out.
Yes.
That was quite useful.
Very helpful.
Because I was
We need to
a
tap
bit
you
long.
in.
Yeah,
Another 7 chapters. Wait, how long? How long there?
Like, Aaron, we'll text you. Aaron, how old is he now?
We're on chapter 40. What is this?
We don't know.
Yes.
Whatever to lend my technology skills to this.
There we go.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm going to round us out with a haiku.
Please do.
Okay. Backstory. I think, you may know this. We went and found some old dead relatives.
Oh, yes.
In a cemetery on a grand adventure.
There was no convicts in the cemetery, was there?
No.
Okay.
Names rise from stone. Roots whisper through quiet ground. I find myself there.
Oh.
Yes.
That's very nice.
So I had a haiku because I forgot what a haiku was about, and it just happened to be on the same page of Great Expectations. Hopes rise with the mist, gold bought with a heavy heart, iron binds the soul.
Done.
Okay. Well, we will do this again next time.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Too.